Uther won't stop the nonsense. Hi, everybody. Let me just...
Don't stop believing.
Okay, Jexus, you deal with these monkeys. I'm done. I've had enough already. That was it.
All right. Hey guys, it's been so long.
Have we started?
So
yet?
long since we played. So long since we played that my hair is actually, I haven't been to the hairdressers to celebrate the occasion.
Neither of us.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. I need to
Anyway,
adjust the Twitch
why won't
thing.
I'm getting audio from all over the place. Mute tab. There we go. Yay, the Sprawl. We're back. Ashes to ashes, grown to rust, and rust is certainly starting to form on this campaign. Hi, Byronic, Alex, Vanen,
Hi.
Uthor,
Hello.
Bub.
Welcome back.
What the hell? No,
Thank you
stop.
so
Shut
much.
up. Not you. Twitch.
Okay.
No, sorry. Go ahead. I was just...
No, I'm going to wait for you to stop the nonsense. That's why we started streaming instantly.
I just discovered that I didn't put this in the right category and that the title is saying that we're playing Shadows of Mordor together, so...
I mean, we could. Anyway, that's the game we're going to play. I have been playing for 6 sessions, something like that.
Okay, I'll say session 7.
I want to say 6.
Yeah, it's been 6.
Yeah.
No.
It's been 7?
But one of them isn't like one of them was a non-session.
We had session 0.
Yeah.
And the last session, so 0 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be session 7.
Yes.
So it's the 8th actual
actually
session.
the 8th.
Yes, okay.
session that we-
Yeah. That's fine. Thank you.
And isn't
Last
is that counting or not counting the lost episode?
That's counting the actual lost episode that we have no footage for because we taped an episode of I don't know, Temptation
Twin
Island
Peaks.
over it.
That's right.
Twin Peaks, yeah, Twin Peaks better than Temptation Island.
That's
Glee. It was Glee.
Every
Glee,
good
no.
podcast has a lost episode.
Yes, it's true. Yeah. So the episode that the audience hasn't seen was maybe the most exciting episode ever. I can't remember what happened. I do remember, but
It was
I'm not
amazing.
gonna. No, it's so we did a wrap up of the entire thing. The trouble that started with Amy failing a roll to convince a man named Taki to give her some gear. Taki then started to harass everyone and say, "Hey, you promised to help me out. Where the fuck are you?" And then instead of actually helping him out, you douchebags decided to just take Taki out of the equation by stealing his gear and then letting him figure stuff out with his suppliers and transporters and all sort of nonsense. It made sense, I promise. That mission, I mean, you guys succeeded and failed at the same time, sort of. Like, you did separate Taki from his stuff, mostly because you blew up Taki with his stuff, and then you all escaped from the site. Webb, meanwhile, also promised his fellow hacker friend that he would help him out. And one day he received a package from said friend, whose name I'm now going to look up because I forgot. Twitch, there we go. How? Yes, thank you, Twitch. And Twitch said that the usual thing, just send him the package, and then Webb knew instantly what to do. The package contained a sort of thumb drive, USB drive thing with a lot of data on it relating to one of the corporations. I want to say it was Altered Vistas.
It was
Praise Be. And while checking out said data, a hit squad was forming outside of Webb's apartment. Luckily, Bishop, with his amazing move that he could be somewhere wherever he wants to be at any given time, was part of that hit squad and took out said hit squad, but not before taking some wounds, and the whole apartment.
I
is
believe
sort of,
I got a battering ram in my face.
yeah, and you got shot, I think, as well. And Webb also got shot through
I
the
did.
door.
Yes. I got shot and took a. I don't think I actually took any damage though. 'Cause it was
No,
through a
it's fine.
door.
Also, I mean that damage sort of resets now. So if you have any wounds or harm, then you just reset that to 0. Because I want to sort of gloss over what happens with the returning the package and that sort of thing. If you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, sure.
So the idea was, with that was basically the end of last session. So a lot of action, basically. Did we also see Silence getting her new cyber legs in that session with the very amazing NPC doctor?
Oh yeah, Joseph Goebbels.
No, Iskin
Is-
Shine.
I think we had the whole scene where Amy managed to get to the doctor. We got Silent sort of in the treatment, but I think we glossed over there. Like she's gone for
Yeah,
a
we sort of
while,
skipped that. Yeah, exactly. And then Amy got attacked by one of Taki's goons, which was the perfect introduction for Amy's gang called Echo Signal, who drew their guns and just popped the guy full of holes. There was no intricate dance routine, unfortunately.
He made a big mistake. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
when you're surrounded and people are pointing guns at you, that's the point to start accepting a deal. And he could have come
I
out
mean,
top, but he just
If your name's Robbie and you work for a man called Taki, intellect is not part of your sort of.
I don't know.
Character.
Not Robbie Short. I think he was just in a very stressful situation.
I think so too. Yeah,
Made some
yeah.
Poor life
He
choices.
was. So there's a thing that we can do to resolve Webb's returning the package, if we want to, or we can just gloss over it entirely and assume that you've done that, and then sort of give me more reasons to fuck with your characters. But we can conduct a mission, or is it conduct an operation to figure out what happens or what happened. Trying to find the actual page for that.
220.
Thank you very much. Because we haven't done this before, I think. Did we? Don't think so. Anyway, when you lead a planned and coordinated operation, describe your plan and who's carrying it out, and then roll edge. So, Webb, what is or maybe in together with Bishop, as he was in your apartment saving your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you guys can figure out what to do with that package.
Well, the first order of business is I need to go to the local supermarket and buy some fairly strong laxatives.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I glossed over that.
Yeah. But then
Silence. He swallowed the thumb drive. Don't you say? It's nothing
yeah.
weird. It's,
Okay, it's
This
like
is just
When the-
now. I imagine this 7-Eleven empty, Bishop and Webb standing at the counter with his one box
Yeah.
of laxative.
yeah,
I
one box
just
of
imagine
laxative,
this
Webb
moment of
holding
just
like 2 big rolls of bog roll underneath his arms.
it was just like this scene in a movie where the guy and the girl in the movie are sitting in bed and guy's just smoking, thinking, "Want to get some laxatives?"
no.
I propose we keep glossing over this.
Yes, everyone do this,
Okay.
and then it magically disappears. Right.
Okay.
we get the package.
Yeah, so you have a thumb drive, and it sort of needs to be returned to Praise Be.
Okay. Let me think.
I mean, the most obvious thing, and it wouldn't even require an operation, is to just send it back to them.
Well, I mean, I might as well, right? Because they know where I am. And so I basically need to up sticks and disappear again. So yeah, I might as well just, off along with the laxatives, I buy an envelope and just, just Praise B headquarters, wherever the hell that is, and just into the post box, and then
Yeah, good. All right. We'll assume that arrives in the proper place.
Well, I mean, at that point, it's out of my hands. Like, my job done.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. Let's skip like a couple of weeks for you guys to heal up and get Silence back on her feet. Oh God, I mean, that was no pun intended. I'm sorry. And I think Bishop, you get a call, a video call from your buddy Marcus, and he says about Magnus. I'm not Marcus.
Magnus. Yeah.
And he looks worried, and he says, "Are you okay?"
I go like, I've been better, but I'm doing fine.
I'm hearing a lot of chatter. There's some people who are not that pleased with you, Bishop.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Do you know who?
I mean, I think you can guess who, right? Look, there's a way for you to maybe, hopefully, appease them.
What is it?
I have a job, or at least I know people who have a job for you, and I can set you up with them. And it's an extraction.
You know I hate extractions.
I know, and I wouldn't come to you, but I figured this might be your way out of the shit you're in.
Okay.
Look, I don't know the details. I don't know the details, but do this clean. No, just don't take any risks. If they want you to take someone out, take them out. Don't do any funny business.
This is sounding better by the minute.
He says, "Yeah, I'm sorry, my friend." He sends you the details for a meet with a woman later during the day, and hangs up.
All right. Are there any instructions about go there alone?
No.
Dress code?
The the meet is at a one of those coffee shops, the one of the daily grinds.
Oh, nice.
Which is like the retro coffee shop chain that we established. Are super hipster and not at all corporate in any way, except that they are. Yeah, it's just a location and a time, and you know that you're supposed to meet a woman, and that's basically it.
Alrighty.
You didn't
So
give
Bishop dresses up.
No name.
Especially
No,
if it's
no name.
If it's a hipster place, then Bishop comes fully corporate wear.
Love it.
Yeah. All right, cool. Do you go alone? Do you contact anyone else?
You know, it would be nice to. Is it like I'm assuming this place is like it has large windows?
Yeah, it's
Open
like
front kind of
it's
thing.
like imagine the sort of like the cafe they have in Friends.
Oh yeah.
Like a very it's terrible. I know it's a terrible place. But that's what I figure would be the sort of retro feel that they were going for.
Okay, so I can get eyes. I think it's nice to have somebody watching.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody feel like watching?
I think
could
Trip
have,
likes watching.
What Trip?
Sorry.
There's a nice woman involved.
Yeah, if I can
Says,
position
I'm taken.
myself at the opposite, on the roof opposite with a view of the window, I'll take my sniper rifle with me just in case and just hang out and relax.
Definitely, yeah, no problem.
And we'll have
Anyone else?
ear communication.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think we established that there's like just simple voice communication between all team members from this point onwards.
We've learned our lesson.
I mean, unless it's somehow made a little bit more appealing, I think Amy's got shit to do. You
No.
only need a contact for coffee. You can fucking handle it.
Speaking of which, by the way, shit to do for Amy, I think you have some in-between mission stuff to do.
I do. Do you want me to do them now?
I think that's appropriate, yes.
Okay, so in between missions, Fix has got to hustle. So I'm making the hustling move. I have a number of jobs that I roll. And I guess I'm just going to do one of each of them. Deliveries, which is transporting illicit goods. Pimping, which is managing my stable of physical and digital sex workers. And looking out for my gang who look out for me, which is protection. And to do that, I roll edge, right?
I think so. Let's see what they say. Yeah.
So here goes nothing. No forward.
Ooh,
Wow.
everything's foobar.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a good start.
So all my gang very simply aren't available unless you want to.
Yeah, no, I think you've lost the privilege of using your gang for this mission or for any other legwork related stuff. I think that's just they're probably maybe they're in a war with some other street gang or stuff like that, and they just can't be asked to help you out.
I like
Practicing their dance routine.
It's the Tower twins, Callista
Got it.
and I can't remember the other
Wait,
one.
I have the names. I have the names. Yeah, I do. Hayden,
Callista
Alyssa,
Hayden.
and Hayden.
Yeah, I think they're siblings, obviously, being twins, and I reckon they get into some sort of sibling bullshit rivalry argument thing that they really know how to wind each other up, and then like start dragging other people from Echo Signal into it,
Yeah.
defend each other, and I mean, it'll blow over, but at the moment they're not.
Right now, it's falling apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. Let's see.
Is this where
Yeah. Okay.
is it the twist of this story is there's actually there aren't any twins. It's just one person, Jeanette style from Masquerade Bloodlines.
Webb,
So
who did you use to send your package?
who did I use?
Yeah. I'm thinking
Just
you
send the
used
package,
a
it'll be
specific
totally
person
okay.
called Kawasumi.
Nothing will happen.
Damn it. No.
I think so. I think it ended up in the
Jeanette,
hands of
it'll be
Kawasumi.
Fine. No.
This is where I get to make the moves, Alex. Yeah. It never arrived.
You needed to fictionally position your ass a little bit stronger when you sent that package. You fucked me. Not my role. It's
I
not the
mean,
fact that I rolled
basically, you fucked Webb.
Yeah.
It was a praise B package, wasn't it? All right.
Help me, fuck you.
Playing the Sprawl with Jexus as GM is basically, it rubs the lotion on its skin, or else I make the moves again.
Why can I not?
Oh, you can't do it. No, that's
This is, oh wait, that's because it's not a token. Wait, no, I know how to work Roll20. It's like maybe like that. No, that's not it either. Where did it go?
How
Whoops.
unprofessional.
I'm trying to.
I second that.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. You guys can't see it at all. That's the problem. There we go.
Yay.
You see something now, right? Braesby retaliates.
No, I don't see a thing.
No, all right,
not-
okay.
not-
It's
nothing exists.
yeah. There's
Where-
there's a couple of exclamation marks now.
Oh,
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That clock is advanced. How do we see this? Like what sign? I mean,
I think right
okay,
now
so
it manifested last time by them sending a hit squad.
not necessarily the retaliation. I'm thinking, how do I know that a package didn't arrive?
I don't think you know. I don't think you know. It just happens. I mean, Kawasumi, as you stated before, is very independent in the way he works. And this just either something went wrong in the delivery or something else went astray. And it's just maybe it just got lost. It's a tiny thing. It's just a thumb drive, right? Also, he's doing it for web as a favor or something.
I'm not getting any credit out of it. That's for sure.
No, you're not getting any credit out of it. And the last but not least, I think
So
I'm gonna
Kawasumi
keep a
was-
hold. I'm gonna hold the pimping disaster for later. Let me make a note.
Yeah.
Because I've got some ideas.
The pimping disaster.
All right. So yeah, unfortunately, that didn't really pan out. Does anyone else have any sort of before or in between mission moves that they can use and want to invoke or use? I think most of them are
Well-
like legwork related, but
Yeah, but mine are mostly legwork related, so that's why I'm a little bit confused as to where exactly we are. This is literally pre-mission, right? Before
this
we
is
even start-
pre getting the job.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is and there might be some. I don't know if any of your playbooks have those moves. I know Amy has the hustling one. All right.
I have the one for the start of the mission and for planning a mission, but
Yeah,
that's
so that
after
comes
the
later.
legwork.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so unless if that's everyone basically, then we see Fub, Trip. I mean Fub's character Trip on a roof with a sniper rifle, aiming down the sights maybe or possibly. You see the maybe the camera through the targeting reticle, and it's aimed right at Bishop's head. And then we sort of like for a second, and then we sort of see it shift a bit to the right, and it's focused on the woman that's sitting opposite Bishop, holding a very stylish cup of coffee. She basically, the moment you entered the room, you knew exactly what to look for and where to sit down, and she has obviously done this so many times that she doesn't really acknowledge that you're there, in the sense that she doesn't wave you over or whatever. It's just she knows that you're the person she needs to meet, and you know that she's the person you need to meet. So you just sit down, and she doesn't introduce herself. She doesn't give a name. But she says, "You're Magnus's man."
I am.
Yeah, and she's dressed in more or less the same sort of clothes that you're wearing, like the corporate wear, right? It's like in a pantsuit, and she's got like a cyber eye, and some other some slots in her neck, or probably some sort of data port or stuff like that.
There's a group of bespectacled Altered Vistas students with really large scarves sitting in the corner going,
Yeah.
The corporate times ruining the world. Just a question. So Magnus said, like, I'm in trouble, Bishop is in trouble, and there's a job that can solve it. But she doesn't know that Bishop needs the job to solve it. All she knows is,
I think
or that's
I think she like out of character, out of play, she wouldn't not be the type of person who actually came up with the mission or whatever. She's just the one carrying out the task of telling you what the mission is.
okay.
Miss Johnson.
Like, so, right? She wouldn't know that you were the person, that you were in trouble or whatever. She doesn't really care. She's just there doing a job, and her job
Alrighty.
in this case is giving you a mission, basically. unless we decide that you want to know who this person is, and we can turn it into something more interesting. But that's not the case yet. Yeah. So she looks at you. She says, "So you're Magnus's man." Okay, I heard some things about you, and I think you might be the guy for the job if you have the team for it. Do you have
I
people
have the
ready?
team for it. I'd like to hear what the job.
There is a man who is working on a project. This man has his code name is Vex, and we don't know his real name. And he's working on a project called Rain Man. And he, it's a man, obviously. He's working for the Lazarus Corporation, Lazarus Biotech. Working on this project, Rain Man. It's a chip of some sort. And what we want is this man. We want you to extract him from his current location safely and into our hands.
What is his current location?
He is working out of, let's see, what I come up with. He's working out of Last Blue. It's a, you've heard of this. It's an offshore sort of science lab in archaeology owned by Lazarus. So it's this huge complex out in the ocean where a lot of people work and live, and there's these so they have their laboratories there as well. So this is one of their one of Lazarus Biotech's research stations, basically.
Do you have any details on this man? What's his age?
She says he's middle aged. He's about 40 years old, and all we know is that he has a very interesting tattoo on his cheek.
All right.
He says, but you got to understand that my employers, myself, all we know is that he exists and that he's working on Project Rain Man. We don't know any further details, which is why we've come to a person who actually knows how to extract people and who's a professional.
And you want me to figure out who he is?
Oh, we want you to figure out how to get him out of there and to us.
All right.
She says we've got a container ship just a couple of miles out from Last Blue where you can drop him off. But as for how you get him and what you do, that's completely up to you.
This sounds pretty expensive.
Oh, we'll discuss the price in a bit. I do want to say that should you fail to get Vex, should he die in whatever means or by whatever means, then we do expect you to actually get the plans for Project Rain Man.
I see. Get the man or get the project. Preferably both, I suppose.
I mean, there's no need for the project if we have the man.
Do you happen to know if he has any medical conditions?
No, we have no further details on him.
Alrighty.
I think you can you could roll get the job and see if you can get more information out of her and also see whether it pays really well or not.
You're not going to ask his credit rating as well.
Well, I mean, this is the point where the GM could go like, "Oh yeah, he's paraplegic and he's colorblind."
Yeah, blind, deaf, dumb, had all
Yeah.
limbs surgically removed. Clinically
So when
dead.
you
Which
when
do I
you-
roll? Is it
when you
the,
negotiate the terms of a job, you roll edge.
all right. Now I have to find where the edge. Where's the roll 20? Okay. It's not bad.
That's a 9. All right. On a 7 to 9, you can choose one from the list that I linked in chat or in roll 20.
Alrighty. So looking at this list. So I can get intel gear. It pays well. Doesn't attract attention. I think I want to go with pays well.
Okay. All right.
Sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
I thought you were using props there, Byronic, but then I realized it was your cat's tail.
Dun,
Yep.
dun, 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 dun.
Let's see. She says, so yeah, I mean, you negotiate terms, and she says, if there is nothing else, then I'm gonna leave now, and I suggest that you wait until I leave.
I guess I could get some more coffee.
Sounds like a good idea. She just gets up and leaves the building. Wait, I found the wrong clock. Sorry. I'm doing all sorts of stuff. Not the right one. Zoop. It's that one. Right. Trip, you see and probably hear this conversation go down as well. And you see her exit the coffee shop, get into a black sedan. In the back, she obviously has a driver, and the car drives off. Is there anything else you'd like to do while you're up there?
License plate?
Yeah, you can get the license plate. Yeah,
Okay, probably a rental.
I mean, probably, maybe not.
I imagine in our future, by the way, license plates are basically just barcodes by now.
Sort of, yeah, probably, yeah.
Back to the Future 2.
But it wouldn't be too difficult for Trip to memorize
A barcode.
any of that. Yeah,
I have cyber eyes, so I can just
make a snap a picture.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
my guess is it's one of those 2D barcodes. That's
A QR code.
that's the one.
Yeah. All right,
It's a
cool.
link to a bad website. And the moment you look at it, you go like, oh, what the F?
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you have what you need, Bishop. Grab a man
That's
out of
cool.
grab a man out of a building. That's all.
What can go wrong?
I don't know.
Alrighty. This is the point where I tried to see if the team is
Justice
willing
League
to
assemble.
go. So this is the point where I think Webb. Yeah, you wanted to say?
I was just
No,
gonna. What do you expect for Sancho? Just go. Nah, I think I'll sit this one out, and then just sit here for the next couple of hours.
We all know there's one person in this team who goes like, nah, I can't be bothered for this. So we fast forward to our secret den.
I think we fast forward to God, I constantly forgot the name. I have it here.
assume the
HK
moment-
Skill Exotic Pet Store.
Oh yeah. I assume the moment where you're basically leaning over, the little poker-like table with the low lamp, going, and that's the mission.
Yeah, exactly. That was exactly the thing.
Yeah. How do you guys react to Silence's new situation?
All the leg.
Yeah.
It depends. How is we're there. Silence walks in. And is she pointing it out? Is she wearing a
Yeah.
short dress to show off the cyber legs, or
No,
Oh,
I
these
think
are
it,
good quality legs.
I think it'd be more of yeah. I think we actually went for a high quality leg, like a real cybernetic replacement. I think it's more of a really uncomfortable moment where, as in, she's just, long baggy trousers, sort of like a boot to hitch up, everything to hide, and just sort of walks in, doesn't make eye contact, and just sits down like completely mousy, sort of like, okay, just basically blocking everything off in this awkward silence.
Okay, Trip can do awkward silences. I don't react on that. So just let her be.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
I mean, obviously Amy was there, so
Yeah. So there's a all right. Yeah.
I think
As
if
a-
I think maybe Webb sort of like looking around as though it's like, are we not? Are we just sort of leaving? Okay.
And Bishop doesn't know anything about it, and like you seem a bit uncomfortable. Do you need a leg up?
Oh. Jesus.
I think Amy gives you like a dirty look.
I think basically she'd be having this little coffee and just drops it, like, just as soon as she got like needing to leg up, like just spills it over stuff and just sort of hides away, like her face just cleaning up, like, no, I'm fine, but just never mind.
All right. Okay. So, what's the plan, Bishop? You've assembled your team of experts, and
And I've told them about the meeting and the details of the mission. And I guess this is the part where we talk about how we would do it.
also everyone mark XP because you accepted a mission.
Oh, cool.
How about we accept a bunch of more missions, just never do them?
Sounds perfect.
Yeah, sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, I'll take your down payment.
All right.
So we know that just out of character, Vex is a researcher, is that right? Or project lead, or
Vex is basically the sort of lead designer, head researcher for Project Rain Man.
okay.
That's not his real name.
Yeah.
No, it's a code name.
Although it could be his real name and his code name.
Yeah.
That would
I-
be insidious.
Yeah.
So,
So-
what is this Project Purple Rain? What Rain Man? What was it? I mean, where is?
Too soon, Byronic. Too soon.
All I know is Vex is working on a chip, and it's from Lazarus Biotech. Anything else, we'll have to find out. And I look at Webb. We'll have to find out.
Oh. Yeah. I will I think so the first thing I would ask in that regard would be this remind me the name of the facility?
Last Blue.
Yeah. Is the existence of that facility public knowledge?
Yeah, because it's basically a giant arcology, right?
Okay.
It's there's just a lot of people who live and work there and have families there, and just
Okay.
that's their entire world. And then it's just also I think common knowledge that Lazarus Biotech just has research facilities there.
Okay. Well, I mean, I imagine if it's owned, it's like its own little, Lazarus Biotech community essentially. Did they pay their workers, or is it just company tokens that they can then spend at the company store?
I don't know. What do you guys think? It's
Okay, so it's public knowledge. How does one get to live there? Is it that only jobs going from Lazarus like, is it only researchers and their families, and I imagine other sort of staff, or are there like
Yeah,
actual?
I think it's mostly Lazarus biotech people who live and work there,
Okay.
and maybe like affiliated, like people who are affiliated with Lazarus biotech
Mm-hmm.
subsidiaries and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So it's offshore.
It's offshore, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
what
it's
you know
like-
about it? So like imagine that you have a coastline and there's a massive highway, just one, like 2 lanes going back and forth, and it stretches out for miles, and then you have this giant sort of pyramid rise up out of the ocean, sort of like in I think in Blade, is that in Blade Runner where you have the sort of pyramid shaped building
At the start,
Yeah.
the Tyrell
Yeah.
Corporation.
that idea. It's like it just rises out of the ocean.
Also, in the end of oh god, what's it called now? Watchmen.
Next question would be this Project Rain Man. Is that public knowledge? Like, if I go onto the website, is it like,
No.
I'm working
No,
on it
absolutely not. No,
Okay.
no mention of it at all.
on official channels?
No.
I suppose this is where a role would come in, but I'm, Webb is fairly clued into all the various message boards where people are spouting off conspiracy theories left, right, and center.
Hmm.
Could I perhaps run some sort of search to see if there's any mention of the a Project Rain Man?
I mean, I imagine you could. Whether or not you'd need to roll for it is a
I
different.
don't know whether that would fall under
different.
like research.
I mean,
or
it
what
would
have you.
fall under hit the street maybe, or research.
Yeah.
I think that would fall under research.
Okay. So I will do that then. Yeah. 7.
All right. I think Byronic the. Oh, there we go.
Did it just come through?
No, I'm not sure if it's coming through on stream.
Oh.
The rolls.
Yeah.
The web rolls mine 3. That should be on there. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a 7 and not a 3.
It's rolled as 3 for me. 1 + 1 and 1 mind. Wait. What's going
Wow.
on?
Okay.
That's
Oh,
interesting.
there.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Okay, that
You scrolled
explains it.
way up, was that?
Yeah, for some reason it got scrolled up.
All right.
Oh, that explains a lot.
On the 7, you let's see. You take intel. The MC will answer your question.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you want to know?
I want to know.
Oh wait, you're supposed to ask a question from the list first and then roll.
Oh,
but
okay.
just ask a question from the list. It's fine.
Okay. Where's the list again?
I posted it. It's right above your roll.
Oh yes, of course, yes. I guess. Where would I find more information on Project Rain Man? What do the forums? They're like, I talked to this one professor who said that he worked on this one thing, and it's some sort of bomb that they're gonna kill everyone with. Stuff like that. Cross-reference all the various crazy conspiracy theories to see if there's any.
Right. Yeah. I think there's some rumors going around about how Altered Vistas was working on a specific chip, which got stolen. You immediately know that was probably you guys. Which was some sort of advanced mathematics bullshit. People found very interesting for some reason. Rumor was that Camarilla had something to do with that. I think like the rumor mill about Project Rain Man, there's a lot of sort of theories going around about how Lazarus is trying to create an army of sort of like cyborg sort of cyborg masterminds who can take over any sort of company or place or whatever with their advanced mathematic brain. That's obviously complete bullshit. But there's obviously there is some some people positing that maybe that Rain Man sort of refers to a chip or some skill wire related thing that allows people to do sort of like do advanced counting and mathematics instantly, and that might be interesting for a major company, a major corporation who's also heavily invested in gambling. So yeah, I think the sort of the region you should be looking into would either be like just people from Lazarus themselves who might know about this project, or someone high up in Camarilla.
Okay, I relay this information. So, so what are we thinking? Are we thinking of strong arming some employee of Lazarus Biotech, or are we thinking of going to Camarilla for this? I mean, there's also the option of that we, rather than strong arming somebody, we could. I mean, I might, if we manage to get access to the internal systems of a Lazarus Biotech facility, any facility, doesn't necessarily need to be that one, I might be able to see, because I mean, I don't know, do Lazarus Biotech have like a ground presence? Like, do they have like just stores? I
mean, I imagine that they'd have some sort of like pharmacy system set up in the Sprawl, where they can distribute the medication that they make.
I'm willing to bet that this world is cynical enough to have it basically like phone booths. You just go in, like, oh yes, sir, pharmacy, get some meds, boom.
Probably it's like automated delivery system.
Okay.
Also, we forgot something very important related to taking a mission, is that you should all stake cred on it, because otherwise you're not going to get paid at all.
I thought you were going to say mark experience.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that later.
This is, I think, we had the YouTube comments on the video so far where people go, you always need to stake cred. You're not doing it right.
Yeah, so with respect to the last thing, that wasn't a proper mission, so no, you didn't have to stake cred. But for this one, you certainly do. And I'm trying to find where it says that if you stake 3 cred, something happens, because I forgot what happened.
When you stake 3 cred, a clock advances alternately legwork, then action, then legwork, then action. Like,
all right, yeah, okay. So you did pick that the job pays well. So instead of a double payout, you get a triple payout.
Oh,
so that factors into your staking of cred.
If we get paid.
If you get paid, yes.
Well, she said that we just needed to either get the project files or get the guy. She didn't say whether or not the facility had to be still standing by the time we're done.
That's true.
I think she mentioned something about doing it clean, but yeah.
Well, again, that's as long as we get the guy, that's clean.
More or less, I think Bishop got the idea that she didn't really care what happened as long as she just got what she wanted. It's yeah, don't worry too much about it.
I'm gonna will into existence so many cranes.
If you could just hack the system and get the project files, then we just hang out and party.
Let's go around the room. Trip, what do you stake?
I will stake 2 cred.
All right.
Easy mission, easy money.
All right. Web.
Yeah, I'll do the same. 2.
All right. So you mark that you spent that cred. You don't have it anymore. Silence.
Yeah, I think that's half my life savings. Seems good so far. 2 creds.
All right. And Bishop.
I have 6 cred.
Yeah, the maximum is 3.
Oh, that is the maximum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all in.
Yeah, exactly. Triple payment.
I'm rich.
Which clock would advance? The one that's already
Legwork.
at 3?
No, the legwork clock would advance first, and then if someone else does a 3 cred stake, then the action clock advances.
You know what I'm going to do too? We need the
All right.
legwork.
And Amy?
3.
Right. Wouldn't have expected anything else.
Yeah.
Why is this not? Where is? Oh, there it is.
You got to pay those bills, yo.
Yeah. Also, you know, with your jobs falling apart. Then,
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's reveal some stuff that I prepared to help you out a bit with the mission. Oops. Here we go. Right. You should have some more directives on the thing now.
Mm-hmm.
The thing. Cool.
Oh, yeah. I'm very eloquent today.
When you gain access to Blue, mark XP. When you secure a means of transportation. Why that though exactly? Deal with Vex's security? Okay.
Well, it really depends on how you want to enter the facility. I mean, there's a highway there. That's obvious entrance, but you could go by air, by sea, or wherever.
Do we have teleportation technology?
No.
I would like to declare a contact.
Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Trip knows Minerva McSpencer, who is the owner of a sort of delivery, sort of a grocery bulk delivery company.
Yeah.
And he's done jobs for her. She helps him gain access to certain places. So he has one of their Trip has one of their overalls hanging in his closet. So yeah.
Okay.
Was it one that she wore at some point?
No comment.
All right. There you go.
Oh dear.
So you named and described the contact. So do they owe you a favor, or do you owe them a favor? What's the deal there? And you work together?
Yeah, we work together. I think we'd be even. We haven't been in contact for quite a while. But Trip is quite okay with owing her after she helps us out.
And is this a same sort of like Margaret type of situation where you send her creepy flowers?
This is purely business.
Okay.
So what do you want to cut to that? Like, where do you meet? What?
Yeah.
Well, she is the owner of the company. They have you guys have to help me with coming up with a good name. But they have a big warehouse where their delivery trucks get packed with the groceries and stuff like that. Trip wears his overalls and just shows up in her office.
Right. Okay. And is that something that's sort of regular for you to do if there's a thing going on? Like if you need help, that you just show up? She wouldn't be surprised by this.
Yeah.
Oh, again?
All right. All right. Yeah. Okay. So what does Minerva look like?
She's around 50. Probably used to be a real beauty in her day. She has a sort of a fine bone structure, and so she's probably from a wealthy family. It's it's the yeah, and she's probably dressed in practical clothes, not the delivery overalls, but yeah, she's in her office doing work, doing administration. So she's not all dolled up for a business meeting or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So I think you. Yeah. So yeah, you show up in the let's see, what do we call this corporation?
Farmworks International was the suggestion.
Right. That works. Let me add that to the list. Okay. So yeah, you enter her office, and there's these sort of like big motivational posters behind her where she's working. It's like on the behind the desk, with all sort of ridiculous sort of nonsense that Trip probably doesn't even care about.
Their corporate logo is probably a cartoon cow chewing on a flower or something like that.
I was thinking Soylent Green.
All right, cool. And she's just sort of working on a computer, and she looks up and says, "It's been a while since I've seen you. How are you doing, Trip?"
Hi, Minnie.
I do hate it when you use that name. But she says it with a sort of smile, like this is sort of like the routine you go through every time you sort of enter the office. She says, I take it you need my help again.
Well, I understand that you do regular deliveries to Last Blue.
Yeah. Okay. It's a big place. People need to eat.
So they do. So I was hoping that you could give me a little temp job.
She looks at you, says that. I mean, this is Lazarus we're talking about here, Trip.
Do you have any leverage on her? Do you have any reason why she would do this other than the sort of goodwill and past business relationship?
Do I? Well, I know all the times that we work together. So you know.
I mean, you could just hit the street and try to see if you convince her with your style. But she's a bit hesitant about what you're asking here.
Okay.
Because she knows full well what you intend to do. All right, 8.
So I bet my eyelashes at her.
Yeah, so you get what you want, and you need to pick 2 things.
Hold on, hit the streets. Hit the streets. So I need to choose 2 from the list. Cost me extra, going to take some time, attract unwanted attention. Your contact needs you to help out with something. I will, as I stated earlier, if she's willing to help me out, then I'll owe her. So I'm quite willing to help her out with something.
Okay. Yeah. And the other thing?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say that it's going to take some time to put together.
All right.
Because there's not maybe they just did a big delivery there, and it's going to take some time before they have enough orders to
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah,
she. Oh, go ahead.
In my imagining, they resupply, right? But they, being essentially a narcology, a floating thing, they have quite large stores. Although they resupply on the regular, they're not. That regularity doesn't have to be every week. It can be
No.
every 2 months or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. She looks at you. She's like, "Look, Trip. I do hope you don't have to go tomorrow, because we don't need to go there. It's going to take a month. The next resupply is in a month, and I'm quite happy to help you out here. You could just I don't know, be one of the drivers of the fleet that we're sending out. I do want to ask though, if you are going there, you mind taking on a little job on the side there while you're there?
well, if I'm there anyway, then
Yeah, it's good. Okay. There's a look. You can just go along with my fleet, and but like I said, it's going to take a month. So if you need to go there earlier, then just figure it out, and otherwise, I'll see you and we'll talk. We'll set things up. I'll let you know.
sure. Thanks.
All right.
So
And
did
then
you
sort of
just
screen
agree
fade.
just for yourself or for everybody right now?
I'm the mother duck, so I can get you in. I can get you in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, after a long sea voyage, you'll just open up a container and there's the four of us like.
Yeah.
We're gonna die in the stacks like those girls on the dock.
Oh dear God. How about that season 2 of The Wire, eh, Alex?
Do we have a time frame that this job needs to be done in? I imagine we do. I don't think it's been said, but
I mean, a month might be sort of stretching things a bit.
yeah.
We can work this in 2 ways. I can just advance the legwork clock to sort of signify that a month of time of preparation has sort of passed. Or we can just say that time is pressing and that maybe there are some parties who don't want you to either do something or want you to go sooner or whatever. But then that's a sort of unknown factor. That's up to you. It's up to Trip, I'd say, because he negotiated this deal.
Yeah, if we don't have a time frame, say, oh, we need you to do this within 2 weeks. If we can wait a month, then I think it makes sense to advance the legwork clock, because all this time we're working on this, doing the.
And it's a big job, right? There's a lot of unknowns. I mean, you don't even know exactly where you're going, so.
But I mean, the idea is that we're going to the pyramid in the ocean, right? That's the goal right now.
Yeah.
So just from my image, I'm assuming that the food we're talking about here is like actual aquaculture. It's literally in the ocean because they're have vertical stacks of seaweed growing and that kind of nonsense.
Probably. I at first I was imagining that they'd send out like a fleet of trucks along the highway with resupply stuff. Alternatively, it could be like a giant container ship that sort of drops things off at the Last Blue Zone port, basically.
But they have they have road access.
They do one, yeah.
Okay.
It's like this big feat of engineering. They made a big deal out of it. It's just, but it's not that secure, right? For your purposes, it might be your sort of death warrant.
Sure.
If you have to get out in a hurry, that might not be the best idea. But like an arcology would essentially have their own means of creating, growing food and that sort of stuff. But they just need maybe seeds or just some additional nutrients or like some sort of weird
Pork.
soy
They
paste
need
or
pork.
yeah, they need just like a lot of pork.
Is there?
But my first my instinct would say that they'd send like a massive sort of Mad Max style convoy of trucks along the highway.
See, now I would prefer the ship.
I know, and that's not it's not happening.
Now that brings this sort of gold image into it, right? This giant pyramid just going slowly from place to place.
And this massive ship in here landing on the pyramids.
Yeah, no, it's a vehicle based convoy of additional supplies for the ecology.
Because
And-
what
and-
I'm thinking is that we not only do we need a way in, but we also need a way out. And it would be nice if our way in and our way out was the same thing.
The
issue-
way out would have to be, because the mission details was there's a container ship somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's where we're supposed to drop off the guy.
Yeah.
Mhm. I mean, that still doesn't necessarily mean that we have to get a ship from Laos Blue to the container. We could
Oh,
quite
that's
happily
true.
take him back to the mainland and then get our, get our own little paddle boat. But
Oh yeah, we could actually just keep him someplace and then demand a ransom.
well, I mean, let's maybe not go quite that far, but
Well, maybe we could get more credit if we just sell them to somebody
Yeah.
else.
I mean, whatever. But
We could lower someone's clock. Maybe Praise B would be willing to lay down a bit if.
We sell them to Praise B.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
That's 2, 4, 6, 8. It's 11 cred. You're just throwing throwing out the
Yeah,
window if you
and
do
then-
that.
yeah. And then there's also,
No, we're selling them for at least 20.
Yeah.
but yeah, but I'm not super okay with that idea because I don't like the idea of pissing yet more people off.
You're okay
'cause
with
we-
slavery, but pissing people off is where you
I mean, listen. This was
Yeah.
some sort of like a last chance for Bishop to redeem himself because he
Yeah.
tried to save Webb.
Yeah.
You could, of course. I mean, far be it for me to say, please don't, guys.
There's always a next level to Fubar, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so the basically what we need to do then is if we're going to use the what was it, Farmworks International, is that the name? Yeah, if we're going to use them to be both our way in and both our way out, we probably need to find some way. Well, I mean, the first question is how long do they usually take to offload? Because do they just deliver or do they also take away like waste?
I imagine that there's like some sort of waste removal stuff as well, and this would be like a day-long operation for something. Like an ecology is big, right? It's
Yeah.
massive. It's like a million people could live there easily.
Yeah.
And
I mean, yeah.
imagine by this time ships as well have. I mean, we're already having super tankers, sailing around. Now imagine by this time this would be huge.
Yeah, exactly.
Hyper tankers.
But you can't do everything in your ecology, and you need some fresh
That's
supplies.
the whole thing of an ecology, that you could do everything, but
why would
I think
But it turns out to be not true. Like it
yeah,
becomes
maybe
a
yeah,
false economy. Like you might be able to, in theory, or you can do a little bit of it, but
it's
you
just massively expensive or something, or
and when
Your
the big
ecology is a
shipment,
lie.
Well,
and when the
maybe
big
literally
shipment,
that. Oh, sorry.
when the big shipment goes in, the ice cream has to go into the freezer, the cases of champagne have to go in the cooler, stuff like that. So you have people
exactly.
sort of-
It's gonna take it's a massive. This is a massive operation.
Yeah.
imagine
Alright,
moving
okay.
house and then multiply that by very, very large number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't worry about. I wouldn't worry about them not being there anymore once you get Vex and you need to leave.
Yeah,
Like
so
that's
that
something-
was my, yeah, no, that was my concern. But the thing is, again, if the thing is large enough, is a day enough time? Again, that would depend on how if we on the legwork, right? Like, do we know where he is? Like, when we're there,
Yeah,
do
I
we
don't
know
know,
exactly?
yeah.
Do we have a step-by-step instruction list of how to find Vex, or is it a
That's
case
why
of
we have a
there?
legwork phase.
I know, but
phase.
I know, but this is what I'm
It sounds like step 1, we try to get inside. Step 2, we somehow hack the system, find out where he is. Step 3, we try to get there.
Question mark, question mark, question mark, profit.
So, simple
Yeah.
question. Have we secured a means of transportation?
I mean, if this is what you want, then yes.
If we are allowed to take a month to do it, then yes.
I mean, yes. And we use Dan's legwork clock to
Yeah,
sort of
okay. So then I guess so. Yes.
reflect on that. Okay, so in that
Go
case,
for it.
you mark XP.
Cool. I like this part, but it tells me something bad is coming.
You're welcome.
I mean, I haven't revealed the other sort of directives yet, so.
Right. I think that the next thing that we should get more information on what the hell we're going to do there and what we need to do. If possible, of course. I'd rather not turn up and be like, all right, now we need to find out, where he is, what he's doing, and then get him out all in one day. I would like to go in with a little bit more information than that. Question is, how do we get that? So the thing that immediately comes to mind is trying to see, basically getting me access to Lazarus Biotech employee records,
Okay.
which
Sounds
I
like
mean, there's a
we
lot of
break
things you
into
can
a-
do. Right?
Yeah.
You can declare contacts. So you could just declare a contact who works at Lazarus and make him give you plans or whatever.
Yeah.
You can hack your way in. You can murder your way in. You can extort people. You can, I don't know, pay people to give you stuff.
Well,
What else you can do?
I would say that at some point, Amy pipes up as we cut back to our HK scale exotic pets round table. And Amy pipes up. I might know someone who could help us with this. And I'm going to declare a contact as well.
the moment you finish that sentence, Webb goes, oh god. Continue.
And I'm going to declare Chase Winslet, who is Laz Blue's new head of security. I'm just gonna.
Right, you got people in high places. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't always used to be the head of security. Used to be kind of. I don't know how militaristic Lazarus are as a corporation.
I mean, we established that they distribute weapons and all those sorts of stuff, and then the actual sort of medication and whatever to fix whatever the weapons do.
They wrap it up with a what's their motto?
Live forever.
Right, live
Oh,
forever.
yes.
So they wrap it up
Nice.
with this kind of very wholesome.
Yeah, their goals are warfare and pharmaceutics and biowarfare.
But,
So it's
like the arcology we're talking about sounds like thousands of people.
So Chase Winslet used to be the senior resident security technician or something like that, and was promoted not so long ago, thanks to Amy Feedback's help. I think Chase had got themselves into a bit of trouble. I think they were skimming money or stealing or selling information or something like this. Their immediate superior is Eldon Decote taken as a name?
Don't think
No.
so. No.
no.
Okay. Their immediate superior, Eldon Decote, found out. And instead of reporting it, started to blackmail them.
It's always a good idea.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Could have just solved the problem, but wanted a cut as well. I think Chase thought that the whole thing was getting too risky, and went to my good friend Avery Slayton, who then pointed Chase at me.
Makes sense.
Amy forged documents that showed Eldon Ducote was responsible for some sort of negligence or some misdemeanor, some misbehavior that resulted in summary termination. So Eldon Ducote was wiped out from Lazarus or Lazblue, and everyone else moves up.
All right. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Where do you meet this person?
Well, I think if you're the head of security for Lazblue, you have to be in the arcology.
Yeah, definitely. He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere. So Amy calls the number that that Chase used when they were last speaking, on the assumption that it was a secure line, right? Because when you're talking criminal conspiracy and all of this, presumably if you work in security, you're gonna take care of that yourself, although Amy has no way of knowing, right?
Yeah. All right. Makes sense. Let's handle that conversation after a 5 to 10 minute break. Is that good? I can get some coffee and go to the bathroom, etc.
Sure. Let's see in a few. And there we are, getting back into action as the music still carefully fades away. Hi, everyone.
Nice. Proper production value. Nice. Yeah.
Proper, I don't know.
I mean,
There we
I
go.
can't hear shit from the stream, so
Let's
I assume
pretend-
it's all
let's-
very professional.
Let's pretend it was professional and not half of my face is going.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
We
technically $1 production budget is still a value.
exactly, absolutely. On that note, let's go to an interesting conversation between Amy and a man called Chase, who you hope is on a secure line. And I think I think when you call, you hear the like an automated operator, like you've reached Last Blue. Please hold. And it takes yeah, it's like some weird, really corny wait music.
I love
and
how in the future, even the automated operators are still, you have reached Last Blue. Just with the wrong intonation.
Yeah.
And it takes maybe a minute or two, and then a male voice on the other end of the line says, Winslet speaking.
Mr. Winslet, it's Amelia. I'm the assistant for Dr. Servarden. Your test results are back. If you could call the surgery, that would be appreciated. You'll have to speak to the doctor himself.
There's some silence on the line, and you hear some clicking, like some sort of like weird mechanical clicking sound on the line itself. It says, "All right, Amy, we're secure now. What do you want?"
You know, I thought I saw Ducote working in a fast food joint, not just the other day. Thought of you.
That's good to hear. Fuck that guy.
Indeed.
What can I do for you, Amy?
Well, there's no easy way to say this, so I'm just going to say it. Your employer is looking to offload one of their team members, an important member of their team, and they want it to look like it was an outside job. And guess who drew the short straw? Well, of course, it's me.
Fuck.
So any help you could give me would be appreciated.
Do you have any? Do you have any confirmation for me?
Sure. It's well, they're being cagey about it. It's almost as if they don't want me to know that it's them. Probably don't trust me fully. Can't say I blame them.
Who's your contact?
Again, a Mr. Johnson.
Go figure.
Yeah. Well, they said it was someone with the code name Vex for a Project Rain Man. I'm sure that all makes sense to you.
There's a long silence.
Yeah. Too long for it to be a never
Yeah.
heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you figure that he's trying to find a way to say that he has no clue what you're talking about, and then sort of took too long. As he's like, this can't be right. He's Lazarus' top research.
That's right. That's as much as I've been able to gather about it. How's the job anyway?
I mean, it was good until you called. So what do you want from me?
Well, mostly I wanted to give you a heads up, not wanting to fuck you on this. But
Well, that's appreciated.
It does need to get done.
And are you gonna what? You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it a violent thing.
No, I don't think so. If it doesn't have to be, there's no need for.
I mean, I appreciate the heads up. Definitely. Yeah.
So, what can you give me? Make this doable.
I don't know, Amy. This is. I mean, if they want it to look like someone else did it, then they don't want me to interfere in any way, like make loosen security or whatever.
I understand you're not going to be able to give me anything that could tie back to you. You've
I
got to
mean,
make this.
why don't you hit the street for me, Amy?
Yeah. All right. God damn it. How do I? When I hit the street,
You roll style.
I roll.
And maybe you roll something else. I don't know.
No, I roll style.
Right.
And I do not get forward because we're not face to face.
Yeah.
Fictional positioning. I'm rolling +2, and it's good enough.
There you go. That's more than good enough. That's max roll. Well, almost max roll. Well, that's a 12. You get what you want, which is as of now still unclear, and you get something extra, either intel or gear.
I'm going to take intel.
All right.
Because I've still got gear. I've got
I mean,
gear.
yeah. I assume you want sort of easy access to Vex.
Yeah.
Then
I
we
mean-
can sort of gear the intel towards you getting a clear idea of the of where he'd be. I think he'll tell you where he's at normally.
Mhm.
He says, have you ever been to Laszlo?
No, I can't say I've had the pleasure.
Oh, this is going to be a shit show for you. Place is a maze. He says, look, floors like ground floor up to floor 450. That's just all residential, commercial stuff, right? The real stuff happens underwater. There's 6 sub levels, and the pyramid tapers out, so the floors only get bigger once the lower you get.
Sure.
He's usually at -6. He says -6 as if that's the thing that they always refers to the departments. It's just -6 and -5 and
Project is cool.
Yeah, there's no
amongst themselves they call it -6.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's just like referred to as -6 Rain Man, or there's no advanced research and physics department or whatever. It's just -6, -5, -4. He says he's usually there, and my directives are to keep him under close watch at all times for bastards like yourself.
Mm.
But look, I mean, if you have any idea of the time frame of this, I could maybe work something out and arrange for a small window where there's no security at all.
Okay, am I to trust him?
Yes.
Do I
No,
give
I
him
mean, you get what you want,
I mean,
right?
I know I got what I want, but still, he's gonna give me help, but how much? Is he?
I mean, your quest is going to attract. It's not attracting unwanted attention or complications or whatever. So you get what you want. He owes you massively. We've established that, which is very smart on your part.
Let's face it, though, a window with no security whatsoever in a highly secure
I mean,
facility.
those like physical, like people, right? There's still going to be
You make
security.
it sound like he owes you so much that it would be convenient for him to get you out of the way.
That would be what happens when you roll like a 6 or something, right? This is I'm as out of play.
All right.
The GM is not trying to. The MC is not trying to screw you over.
All right. Okay.
Yet.
This time, yeah.
The way you said it, like when you roll a 6 or something. 6 rollers. Those, I don't
Yeah,
want those
well.
people.
Plebs.
Well, I'll level with you, Chase, because, like I said, I'm not wanting to fuck you. Your next delivery from Farmworks International. That's when.
All right. I'll when the time comes, I'll contact you and give you a window. I mean, I can't. The only thing I can do is pull his personal protection. I can't disable cameras or, the turrets that we have.
Understand. If you could find your way to sending me a schematic of your maze-like facility, that would be amazing. Sure, you've got a map lying around for new.
Yeah. There's a deep sigh. It's like this makes a square, Amy.
Of course.
Agreed. All right. Yeah. I'll get something over to you. Which is funny because he's inside a pyramid.
Take care, Chase.
Yeah, you too, Amy. Click.
Actually, my phone doesn't click. It makes
Beep. Yeah, he clicks. All right, so yeah, you within the next couple of days, you get a package sent to your standard shipping address for stuff like this, with like a data slate or whatever with the plans for the entire building.
Wow. That's okay. Cool. I'm gonna note that down because.
Yeah, I think we still want to have at least some gear or intel because we have
You can get a tally of the gear and intel you have right now. Maybe people still have something left from last time.
I have 2 gear and 1 intel.
Oh,
Wait, can I actually keep and use intel and gear from previous leftovers?
Yeah, I don't see why not. If
If
it's
it
not
makes-
stated in the rules that you can't, and if you can make it make sense,
I
then
just got
yes.
the intel. Yeah, like if it the intel I think has to be relevant to the thing you're doing.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't seem sensible for me to get the intel from the previous mission for this.
But
It depends. It depends. Like
what
if you got the intel from someone working at Lazarus, then you could make a case that this is Lazarus intel that you can use. But that's not the case here, right?
I mean, like if I got intel from pimping, there's a possibility it could be, right? Because it's not specified.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like gear, for instance, is just stuff that you've accrued over the missions, so you can you just use that at
Gear,
will.
I can imagine.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you have plans, you have some intel, you have a way in. What else do you need? You know where he's at most of the time.
Just for my clarity, because I have a start of
Let's
the
go.
mission skill, but this is still legwork, and mission formally was starts
Yeah,
after,
I mean,
right?
and we'll flash back to start of the mission if you want to do that. Whatever you want to do, that's fine. It's
Wait a minute. The
No, but
mission
it-
already started?
No,
yeah.
oh
No.
no, I thought
What?
legwork was sort of pre-mission, and then sort of
Yeah.
the mission is actually when you act.
It's always been mission starts, legwork, action, and
Oh.
Wait, so you're saying the mission's already started?
Has the mission already? No. Okay. In that case,
When you
Because
start
I-
a mission,
at the start of the mission, look. You know what? You know what you
What?
did? You messed up
Just
all the
broken
cameras
all
right
the
now.
cameras on the screen.
there you go.
No, nope, we're done. We're done. We're just gonna keep this. So that means, let me see. You are now Vanen Jexus.
That's okay.
Fub is now Alex. Vanen is now Huthor.
I'm
Huthor's now
absolutely
Fub.
Oh.
proud of what I did because you guys are absolutely bonkers. We've done this many times now,
Look, last time was like months ago, so that was a fair
Whose
question.
fault was that? No.
Look, we hold quite lightly to all of the phase.
It
stuff
really doesn't. It
in this
doesn't
game.
matter.
The
Just
game doesn't break.
Look,
just do it.
no,
at the point
just
where
do
it's
it.
Here's
Do
the
it
thing
whenever you
I
want.
want to do. I have a nose for a story, and
I know you
this
do.
is
yeah.
where we discover more about Lazarus Tech. This is where we're getting to the belly of the beast. So
Yeah.
I can roll edge, and get basically hold that I can use later on for random questions from the research list. I still don't really know what monstering is. That's one of the reporter things that I don't have yet. A move, I think it is.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
move that the reporter has.
Yeah, so I don't have that yet, so that's
yeah.
irrelevant. Or, and in fact, use it to start working on the story. So I will roll edge. I said I will roll edge. Why is it? Oh, it's popping up behind OBS. No, there we go. I have no forward. So that, holy crap. Okay.
Nice.
13 plus, which means that for
Silence is useful for a
this
change.
mission-
Wait a minute. Do you have a Roll20 subscription, by the way?
Look, I am not at liberty to discuss any Roll20 sponsorship. Sponsor me, Roll20. No. So yeah, I have 3 hold. Basically, this is. I guess this is Silence raging like a press pass. Basically, just sort of getting into context, going like, well, we're doing an op-ed piece on all the quality that Lazarus is doing, and trying to sort of get connections to get some kind of information. Calling PR agents here and just getting loads of little factoids together.
Yeah.
Do arcologies really work?
Yeah.
Cloud
Oh,
Base
right,
King.
so-
yeah.
What is
So I can also do a start of the mission thing.
I mean, it's a bit too late now, isn't it?
Wait, the mission's already started?
Don't make him turn off his camera again. I'm just adjusting.
Wouldn't- I was just maybe it will fix things. So yeah, you apparently love it when a plan comes together, don't you, Bishop?
Yeah, I love it when a plan comes together. You know, like how everybody realizes when the mission starts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How about I just roll edge and see what happens?
Let's do that.
Does it roll? It doesn't do anything.
Maybe there's a bit of lag. Maybe there's a dialogue somewhere asking you to
That'll
Enter
be it.
full-
Yeah,
Forward.
it says forward. I say 0. I say submit. Oh,
There we go. There's a couple of rolls. We'll take the
Yeah.
first one.
This is-
Oh
one?
God, which is a 9.
cool. That's cool. What does 9 mean?
9
Just-
means
9.
you gain 1. You have 1 hold that you can spend on either have the piece of gear that you need right now or appear in the scene where you're needed right now.
Cool. So I'll take that hold and I'll keep it
So-
with me.
So what does Bishop do to sort of arrange his plans? What does that look like?
Oh, you mean for this skill?
Yeah.
Well, right now I don't know which of the options I am using. That's kind of
I know. But
And
what do we see when do we just see Bishop sitting in a corner, sort of thinking really, really deeply, and or is he meeting with people? Or
Oh, I see. I guess this is where he would have a how kids in high school have their little black book. Bishop with his contingency plan book.
Right.
And I think this is the
he's got plans F to Z to Z.
Yeah. I almost wanted to say scrapbook, but
My little assassination.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
so this
you
is the
just
point
sort of-
where, yeah, you would
Okay.
filter it down. You would go like, okay, this is this can be an amphibious thing. It's offshore. You narrow down your list of contacts, who you could contact for this, the means of appearing in a scene or having the piece
Right.
of gear.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So you're just thinking of all the things that could go wrong and how to fix them should they arise.
Yeah, I think this is the point where will be like the equivalent of a tablet kind of a thing, where you would just start out with a full list. This is like a very dynamic. It's a living list.
Right.
Whenever you screw something up, a name goes off. Whenever you get a new contact, it comes up again.
Right. Cool.
You know. With a
Right,
very
nice.
meticulous tagging system, by the way.
Yeah.
Pretty proud on that.
All right. Cool. Let's see. Yeah. Anything else that you guys feel the need to do?
Plan the mission. I feel like we need to do.
Yeah, so I guess this is again cut back to our little poker table at the HK pet store. I'm missing something in the title. The HK something pet store.
HK 47.
Obviously,
It
it's obviously
I
it's
wish.
obviously something else.
Bring him with us.
The HK scale exotic pet store.
HK scale exotic pet store. Yeah.
Yeah,
So basically
definitely.
that little poker table, and I guess that's the point where you have this digital display or maybe a holographic thing where Bishop is just going. So
Here's the plan.
No, I don't think that Bishop lays out the plan that makes everybody my minion. Wouldn't work. So
I
one
don't
part
know,
is
it
getting.
worked. The one time we did it, it worked pretty well.
the one time we didn't, it cost me an arm and a leg.
Okay, the plan. Trip gets us in. The mother ducker that he is. Once
All
we're
right,
in,
write this down. 'Cause this is the thing that gets you plus forward.
one Trips gets us in.
Mm-hmm.
Once we're inside, we need to get to -6. Yeah, -6 it was.
Well, I mean, do we need to get to him, or could we perhaps somehow get him out?
What
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good one.
What if we know sort of the lunch schedules when he gets up to the cafeteria on, floor 2, -2, or...
Well, I imagine if he, based on the information that we got from, you're gonna have to remind me the Amy, the
Chase?
guy's name.
Chase?
Chase, that's the one.
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
Never gave you his name, so.
Yeah. Oh well. But based on the information that we got from him, it seems as though if he's being watched, I imagine he's probably not allowed to. If not, maybe not allowed to leave, but he's under very close supervision. So I imagine that's that includes everything. That includes eating. That includes bathroom breaks. That includes the whole shebang. So.
But what if we get him in transit? Maybe set up a sort of a little display en route to the cafeteria where you can sample some of the wares of Farmworks International. Oh, sir, would you like to taste this new ice cream that we have on offer?
What I'm saying is that I'm not sure if he's necessarily even allowed out of the level where he's being placed.
Yeah.
So I mean, unless you can somehow convince the big guys Lazarus that we need a free sample stand on -6 floor.
All right. I mean, you can
How
have a
about
look at the
large
plans.
explosions?
You can have a look at the plans and see whether or not there are any residential areas in the sub levels. Right?
Orbital cannon.
I was going to suggest something more, maybe something.
The way
slightly mundane, like a
it's
fire
Wait a minute.
alarm.
-6 is below sea level, right?
yeah, everything minus is below sea level.
So all we need is a submarine.
I
guess you have gear, so
Okay,
Well, I mean,
if the
he-
words "prepare for ramming speed" are part of this plan, I'm out.
Perhaps today is a good day to die.
No, I mean, if you have a look at the plans, you at least see that the 6 sub levels do not have any residential areas or researchers or whatever. So you could deduce from that the people who work in those sub levels live somewhere up top. What is available down there are like a cafeteria, like bathrooms, probably at -1. And the deeper you go, like the more experimental stuff probably happens. But like the -1 is sort of like the general like eating and going to the bathroom and administration for research purposes, etc.
So here's a thought. I said something maybe more mundane like a fire alarm, but maybe something a little bit more serious than that. What about a pressure alarm? Because it's underwater, right? So it's going to have to be pressurized. So if you're able to get me into the system, I'll probably then be able to access things like the fire suppression and hopefully also maybe not pressure control, but I'd be at least able to set off the alarm, which would, I imagine, order an automatic evacuation of basically everything below sea level at the very least. Maybe we can do a little bit more legwork to decide whether or not if we want to go really, really nitpicky, what exactly the protocols are for a suspected depressurization of sub-levels. But I imagine that'll flush them all out into somewhere a little bit more open. It would also create enough chaos for us to maybe sort of worm our way through the crowds or worm our way into wherever we're, make him a bit more vulnerable.
I'm not sure we need a whole lot of chaos, to be honest. If it's the map that I've managed to acquire for us does indicate the locations of the various access points to LazBlue's systems. I imagine it wouldn't be too great a stretch if we could identify where our target actually lives and intercept him.
Then
Can I make a suggestion? Trip is specialized in how people move through spaces, and we have the maps. Could I use the maps to case the joint?
Security weaknesses you can exploit. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That would make sense. I'm not sure if you could figure out where the guy lives, right? That's would be out of your reach.
True, but if you know that this guy is probably somewhere in a large laboratory at -6, and we know that the bathrooms are at -1, what route will people take when they have to pee?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
The question still remains is how exactly we get into these sub-levels.
That's a 6. Right.
I'm just thinking that if we somehow flush him out, then not only because if we go down for him, we're taking 2 risks. We're taking the risk that because I don't think we've even considered whether or not this guy even wants to be. Like this is probably going to be an unwilling extraction.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to either incapacitate or the remote chance of convincing him to come with us.
Yeah.
Then we have to get him out of these restricted sections. Not only do we have to get in, but then we have to get him out again, either willingly or not. I just feel as though if we somehow flush him out of these restricted, we're just eliminating one of these issues because we're not.
Let's move back to case the joint for a bit.
Yeah.
You failed to roll your advanced legwork clock because that's what happens. I'm not going to even justify that one. You do get a clear idea, Trip. I think you have a knack for memorizing this sort of stuff, right? I think if once you get inside, like especially those sub levels, you'd know where to go and what to if you need to hide somewhere or if you're looking for the cafeteria, if you're looking for the bathroom, whatever, you'd be able to find that no problem. So that's you don't get intel, but you do get that.
Silly question. How about we just set up a meeting? I mean, why go to him when we can make him come to us?
His Here's a question for you, Jaxus. Because I am a less skilled shadow runner than Amy Feedback. Did I manage in that phone call to get his name? Is that like
No. No.
God damn it.
I don't. I'd be surprised if even Chase knew his actual name.
wow? So we couldn't
Um,
even look him up if we wanted to.
not really.
Do
No,
we
but
know
that-
if he has like relatives that we can kidnap?
You don't know anything because you don't know who he is.
But
No,
that
I mean,
means that everybody calls him Vex all the time.
Yeah.
That must be vexing.
Then
But
Sorry.
I could
Ironic,
spend-
that's your last warning.
Don't make me switch off the camera again.
No, but I mean, Silence literally says that in game, as in, can't we just set up a meeting? I mean, Web could just hack into some server, make a fake identity for our expert on Project Rain Man things, right?
But I could spend intel to reveal stuff about him. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, that'd be fair.
Actually, now that you mention that, I have a bunch of research question. I could probably spend a hold to ask the question, where could I find the true identity of Vex? And that would probably lead us into a different mission to first discover his identity or something, but...
I mean, you could then conduct an operation to get that stuff. Good, yeah. If that's the route you want to take.
which would be like accepting a mission and getting XP. Or
No.
The Russian nesting doll
No,
of
we are not
XP.
embedding missions into missions into mission. This is not Sprawlception. So we're not going to do that.
And just 5 months in, so what were we doing again?
So we
Our
got the
Russian
key
nesting
for the
doll
truck
cyberpunk?
for the... Let's not.
No, but I mean,
But no,
that-
seriously, if you want to, you could. Is it necessary?
well, I mean, we can go multiple routes. I mean, the suggestion Silence is making in game, seriously, is literally,
Yeah.
how about we can either just literally create a fake identity, like a ambassadorial visit or whatever, and just literally have him come to us over there,
but
or we can take Bishop's option, try and figure out who he is, whether he has any family, kidnap that family, and
well, I
get
mean,
them-
it sounds very like my idea of this whole thing is if we have intel, can't we just get in, spend intel to find out who he is or where he is?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what
just
it's
get 'em
there for.
out.
Yeah, I mean, you could arguably spend some of that intel now. Didn't you
Yeah.
take intel from your conversation with
did.
Chase?
Yeah.
Then you
that's
could easily spend that to find out who he is or where he lives or whatever.
my
And that way, yeah. Sorry.
my hesitance about that is like, if there's another way, like that's the only intel that I have got from this source, and this is a hell of a source. This is the head of security for this facility. If there's a better use for that intel,
Hmm.
if you can get this information another way, that this
My-
intel might be a back pocket, like save your ass kind of thing.
Yeah. My problem with the meeting idea is that it doesn't solve the problem of the fact that he's supposedly under incredibly heavy surveillance. If he had a meeting, surely the people watching him would just go with him anyway. And I would imagine if he's being heavily watched, I imagine his itinerary is like handled a lot. And yes, even if we manage to get in there and schedule this meeting,
He's
I
got
just feel
guards, Bishop got guns.
yeah, this is what this is why I still like my fire alarm / pressure alarm thing, because it creates chaos, but it's also using their own corporate protocols against them, right? It's using their inbuilt systems, because the one thing that these companies can't control is just it's nature, right? Disasters that just happen sometimes, just entropy. They can't control entropy. So if we create a situation which creates chaos like that, they are then more vulnerable for our exploitation rather than us trying to accommodate by their system, right? We're not exploiting their system. We're accommodating the system if we do like a meeting or something. But if we, you see what I'm saying, right? That's my issue. I think that the downside, of course, is creating chaos creates chaos, right? Which is again a lot more unpredictable. But it's not just unpredictable for us; it's unpredictable for them.
But
Yeah,
it makes
we're
it really
really
different.
good at creating chaos.
And that's the thing, right? We actually, that's what we are decent at.
But how do you
So-
find someone in a building full of panic?
That's where
So you
that's where some of this intel comes from. But I feel as though that, ironically, in a if we did that and it just flushed out all the people from the sub levels back up into the top levels, we have, oddly enough, almost more insight into how they might operate than we do otherwise, unless we want to spend this intel to uncover how they operate.
When you
Right.
when we trigger a pressure alarm or something like that, it almost calls the response, right? Like they move into their drills, their procedures kick in, like a fire alarm in any institution. You have fire marshals and people move in a certain direction in certain whatever. You can see where the security go, right? Presumably that's not the most secure things, but he's the head researcher of -6, so
In most companies, in most situations, the fire marshals are actually the security people because they are trained, they know their way around. Triggering an alarm might, get them actually away from our target. But we don't know if this is the case.
I can imagine Trip doing the whole case to joined, learning all the routes, and then they go like, yeah, the alarm kind of thing. But I just learned all the routes and all the patrols.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an easy way to find out what the security is by just spending intel.
that's
Well, let me see. I'm just looking at the research. Since I don't have intel, but I have hold that I can. So basically, 3 questions up there. So I mean, one of the questions is, where would I find blank? So
Make creative use of that, I'd say.
where would I
Problem solved,
find
really.
Where would I find Vex?
Yeah.
He's right behind you. He was behind you the whole time. It's like,
He's holding your hand right now. God, you blind.
Yeah, he's out there being loaded into that inconspicuous van.
no, but I mean, literally,
He was the guy in the gorilla suit going like this. We're watching the ball.
no,
Oh, go ahead,
Literally,
Spade.
we could use this at the moment where the alarms go off and we're there. Do that. Where would I find Vex now? What does he have a specific panic room that he goes to? That kind of thing.
But the answer might be you can't.
Yeah.
It might be
I mean,
like
that'd be
No,
subject
where
to no, but it'd be
would I
subject to
find?
fictional positioning, right? It's
Yeah.
that like a question that specific. I'm not sure if you could get that from the outside. Like
Where
you,
would I find water in this vacuum?
no, I mean, but the move you did, which is very useful, but it gives you like general to some more specific information. But I don't think, I'm not sure if it would give you that sort of specific intel.
But surely the maps show
Good.
if there are any safe areas.
Well, yeah,
Imagine if they're maps. Surely they would also show
I
things.
mean,
like,
they would fub
right?
if someone wouldn't have rolled a 6- on the
Oh,
map assessment.
Don't make me switch
Hey.
off my camera.
Another option is who or what is related to blank. who is related to Vex, and then you pressure that person.
I don't like the idea of screwing with their family as well. Not just on a personal level, but you know, if that goes wrong.
I'm not saying screw with the family. I'm just saying, grab the little kid, hold a gun, and then ask some questions.
What was your personal directive against silence? I think one of your personal directives, Silence, says when you put your compassion for the powerless ahead of the mission.
This is not Silence talking. This is me talking.
Okay.
This is me creating opportunities for Silence to get experience.
Oh, I've already figured that out. Don't worry.
Oh, I know there's going to be a bunch of children just locked in a cage getting ready to become, human mulch. So
Okay, all right. We can discuss this round.
Yeah, we have a plan right now. Step 1, Trip gets us in.
Yeah,
that's as far as we go.
Bishop, assign roles to people, right?
Yeah.
Or alternatively, figure out what it is you're actually going to do, and then assign roles after you figured that out, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you should spend intel or do research and then figure out what the plan is.
If I'm like super creative, I can come up with something that's valid for the whole mission, and everybody gets +1 forward the whole time. That's really difficult now.
I mean, alternatively, let's face it, we're not going to start the actual action tonight. I think we should save that for next session. So why not spend the rest of the session figuring out and trying to get a lot, as much information as you can, and then either by the end of the session you figure out what the plan is, or you do that at the beginning of the next session.
Right now, it sounds like Trip will be the mother duck. So it basically means getting us in and getting us out.
Yeah.
All right.
Because we're going out.
Knowledge. Fuck it. I can't keep it for the bird in the bush thing. I'm going to spend intel that I got from Chase to reveal Vex his personal information. His file, essentially. What's his file? Where is
his name? Is Marvin. He's Marvin, isn't it?
Where does he
Melvin.
live?
So
what is his?
When you reveal your knowledge, we know how you discover the information. You spend the intel and you reveal knowledge. You figure out or heard from Chase that Vex is a Dr. Vasily Veximimov. It's a very elaborate code name.
I'm so glad it's an actual person, because I was afraid you're going to do like it's an AI in a computer core.
And he does have a family living in the arcology. He has a wife and a little boy of 4 years old. His wife is called Natalia, and
Can we leave the family alone? Can we minimize?
The little boy is also called Vasily.
Vasily Jr.
Malinky Vasily.
And you
How
know
old
where
is
they
his
live.
wife?
The same age.
As the boy.
And I'm assuming there's a photograph of him in this file. Maybe not.
No, there isn't. No, he just I don't think he actually gave you a file. This is just like conversation you had.
All right. His hab address?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. You know where wife and kids live in the arcology, and where he presumably lives.
And
not presumably, he lives there.
Okay.
Let's make that clear. Yeah.
You can fuck me later on it if you like. That's
it's just a
wife and kid.
It's just a thing where his life. It's just a thing where his life is just controlled by strict regimen, and he's just being guarded wherever he goes. So they take him to his house, and they take him to wherever, and then they take him to the research station, and they take him back, and he's just under guard.
And remind me, in our conversation, did Chase say he would pull security from him?
Yes, for a small window of time. Yes.
And he didn't. Did he say when that would be?
Um,
Or
he
will
said
we
he'd
make clear to
contact you.
Okay.
He said he'd contact you later when you figured stuff out, and then I imagine that be where a conversation wherein you say, "This is what we want to do. Can you help us out?" And he'd say yes.
Okay. All right.
Right. So
So you know how I said let's not fuck with the family? I'm gonna go back on that. Let's fuck with the family.
What?
But-
What? What?
but not in a-
Where's
but-
this coming from?
No, but not in a horrible way.
God.
Let's fuck
No.
with them in a nice way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, don't like peel their faces off.
Well,
Just buy them a nice dinner first.
Because you know, even though we know who he is, we know what he's doing, we know where he's going to be at certain points. We still need to somehow get him to come away with us, and obviously the easiest way to do that would be willingly, rather than us clocking him over the back of the head and then somehow sneaking him out. So what if we manage to? Because I imagine the wife and kids aren't going to be under, as you know, observation like he is, right? So what if we convince specifically the wife? Because I imagine the child do whatever his parents say.
It's not going to be a
Unless
20-minute
he's like
mission.
super rebellious, but
Web
like,
befriending the 4-year-old boy.
Oh god.
yeah, but basically, what if we convince her that, like, I don't know, someone's out to get, you know, her husband or something, and that we're here to sort of secrete them all away. Then, you know, when we finally get to Vasily Senior, we can basically be like, you know, we've got your wife already. Let's go. You know, we're all here, and then she'll be like, yes, please come, Vasily. Let's run away. And then he'll be like, oh shit, I better do that, right?
Or he might go, hey, who are these creepy kidnappers?
Well, that's why I'm saying if we convince the wife to come along with it, she'll be like, yes, this is what's happening. This is, you know, this is us being, you know, rescued here.
Dude, it's
So,
totally
wait a
legit.
minute,
We've
wait a
got
minute,
your
wait a
wife and
minute.
kid right here.
We start a mission about extracting a guy to get cred. We happen to find out there's a wife and a boy. Life sucks. But now we're going to extract the whole family?
I don't care about the wife and the kid if they get out or not.
Okay,
I'm
so
just-
we clock him. We
Wait, that's even worse.
Yeah, well,
You said you
I-
didn't care about them.
This, if I may, I think is getting really complicated.
Yeah.
so
We have their location. We have a window.
Oh, I'm
of
so sorry.
time that we can choose
Thank you, Amy, for spending your intel, by the way.
where where they aren't, where he isn't under security. We can be there at that window and we pick him up. But
Yeah.
it's about that simple in my mind. I mean, I'm sure there will be other complications further down the line.
that was just, yeah, but then like, so okay, so we're there, we were there to get him. We're at the point. What is it? Just a case of and then out we go? How do we sneak an unconscious head of research out of a giant archaeology?
Just put a gun in his ribs and walk him off. Like, or look at the map and determine where they keep the speedboat, like
Yeah.
escape
Or you
vehicle.
just-
Yeah.
We have
Stop
Bishop.
him.
We have Bishop
Whatever.
who could be creepy. Just lean on over, whisper in his ear, we have your wife and kids, walk along silently or something happens.
Bishop has a very nice skill that produces a piece of gear right when he needs it. So we can just have a little speedboat or even a little submarine or whatever. I think we can have. Yeah, Jackson, we can.
No.
The speedboat
Gear.
is
It's
good.
no gear doesn't cover vehicles or major like massive
Look,
stuff.
If this was a Ron Gilbert game, we could have just gone speedboat.
I mean, you can have someone arrange to have a speedboat there.
Okay.
I mean, that's a thing you can always do, right? You can just buy one and make sure it's there, or you can just drive one there.
There's a certain. Yeah, we can find them. Maybe they were willing. Maybe they can go willingly. Maybe we can force them. Maybe
I mean, is that relevant
flashbang.
to? Is that
No,
relevant?
it's
to
not
buying?
relevant.
How about we
just
just
wanna
move
do the
on
mission.
over and let
Stuff
Ocean's
him into
11
the
Chaos?
empty cardboard. box of the ice cream samples and just drive off with him.
There we go. We've got our
This
solution.
is just analysis paralysis, basically
Yeah.
where you figure out what could go wrong. It doesn't matter. It's going to go wrong anyway.
Although, admittedly, I kind of wanted to hear where Webb was going with I don't
Yeah,
really care about
yeah.
the wife and kids. Because I just imagine getting them all to the dock and then Webb turning around, shooting the wife and kid, and just taking the guy along.
No, it's just it's not that it doesn't. Yeah, he would actively not care, but it's whether or not the wife and kids got away was entirely moot. They were purely a tool to get him to come willingly.
This just sounds like Webb is committed to saving the family, and we exit the building, and Dr. Vasily goes
I mean,
like,
if we come with,
if I'm leaving this
whatever.
place, could we leave the family? I'm so tired of them. Like, no, we rescued them. They're going with you.
So basically,
Yeah.
are we sort of cutting to us in, a van or, well, a truck, moving on over
It depends. Is there any moves that you want to make? Is there some sort of other arrangement that you want to do? Have a role and whatever instead of just discussing it.
So
Well,
Bishop had started assigning roles, but didn't get done.
Mm.
Do we know enough now that we can finish that move off and assign the rest of them? I think we can certainly guess at it, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
cool. So I think it's good if we say Trip gets us in and gets us out through the truck. I think the idea is we're going to try with going with the intel that Amy got. So the idea is we know where he is. We know there's a window of opportunity. We try to make use of it, but we need to have a backup plan. So that's actually the point where I think like if we can create a diversion if something goes wrong, that seems like a cool thing for Webb to do.
Okay.
All right.
What if we make Amy responsible for managing the time window because it's her contact that does this. Once we have him, create the diversion and get out in the ensuing chaos. I think that's the simplest plan that we can come up with.
So Amy's responsible for managing the timing?
Yes.
So that means that the +1 forward ends the moment we actually.
I mean, that's not too bad, right? It's going to end. It could end at any time. Whenever you just fail a roll, it just ends. So
What's the role of silence in this?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering as well. I'm not quite sure what, with this kind of kidnap mission, what silence could actively contribute.
Is silence by this point so jaded that she's willing to kill people?
I don't think she went from, hey, I lost a leg, screw the world, let's shoot everybody.
I mean, let's let just look at what people are good at, right? Amy and Silence are masters of talking to people, bullshitting.
Yeah.
Right. Bishop, you are expert at planning and killing. Trip, you are an expert at infiltrating and killing, and Webb is an expert at fucking with things. Right? I mean, yeah. You just plug Webb in somewhere, and he just fucks with things. So
I am the gremlin.
So gear your planning to what people are good at, and then you'll be fine. So if you want to grab effects, then I'd suggest that you use someone who's actually good at talking to people instead of someone who's good at shooting people.
Ooh. So
Just an idea, obviously. I mean, if you're going with this idea, you're going to get a -1 ongoing for taking the MC's advice, right? That's in the rules somewhere. And no XP for any of the directors.
What? No.
No, I'm kidding. All right, so we're getting a list here in the
Sure.
chat. Trips Trip gets us in and out. Web creates a diversion once you get. Or Web isn't. But Web is responsible for creating a diversion.
Yeah.
Amy is responsible for the timing of the operation, and Silence responsible for convincing Vex to come along.
Well, all right then. I'll figure that out.
I mean, you don't have to, but this is what you get a +1 ongoing for if you do what Bishop is saying.
What's your
I mean-
style, Silence?
Yeah, that's not gonna be that good. It's 1. It's okay.
Oh,
That's right. That's
yeah,
okay.
it's like better than average.
Mine
Yeah.
is in person. Mine is functionally a 3.
Holy crap!
It's 2 + 1 when I'm fast talking someone face to face.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm just seeing what roles do I have. See, I can press pass if you, but that is, let me just see. If you reveal your public persona to fast talk your way in, do not roll the dice. You count as rolling a 10+. Take intel and advance to legwork clock, which is,
I mean,
as far as I can tell, sort of the idea that you basically
you just flash you flash your press pass. You talk to some people, and they let you in, and they tell you on some sort of rumors or whatever, and you
Yeah.
can just do whatever you want. So you are the ideal person to just go wherever you want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically,
you're,
the only
Like,
the
you
only
don't need to
problem
roll.
is you grab basically what Silence can do best is get all the info, but visibly and publicly, and it alerts people. Basically, that's the
Yeah.
issue.
So maybe Silence needs to get us to Vex with her press pass.
I think it only covers Silence itself.
I think so.
which
Let's
yet
see.
again asks the question: is Silence jaded enough to, if not kill people, clock a dude around the head and drag him out?
See,
Yeah.
now that is, I think, where it might be going. So
Yeah, well, I mean, this sounds like a good enough plan. It's going to go wrong anyway. I mean, you're never going to execute a plan the way you want it to. So that's fine, I guess.
So wait a minute. So Trip gets us in. So just a quick rundown. We're all in a truck. Trip gets us in. I guess we get out of the truck and we all go into the facility and we try to locate Vex. We probably won't be able to go all the way, but at some point Silence can continue. Convince him to come along. And then we
If not-
ensue. Yeah. And then we trip the alarm, and through the chaos, we go back. And through the chaos, that's the point where, and I can assign it to myself, and then also get +1.
Well, maybe we do the same thing that we did in the first mission, where you basically acted as Silence's cameraman. You know, you carried all the equipment and stuff, and then when shit went to, when shit hit the fans, when you snap necks.
No, I would have.
For the sake of planning, this doesn't matter.
No.
We don't need the details. We just need the broad strokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to know what Bishop's task is for the mission, and then that's
I'm
planning.
assuming that the
Basi-
moment we trigger the
could-
alerts and the place goes nuts, that's the point where anything can happen, and Bishop will be the armed escort.
you could basically have like a broad plan, like keep the team safe.
Provide security would be a good job description.
Oh.
Mhm.
It's nice and broad, nice and applicable.
Oh, and it
All right.
counts for the whole mission.
Ensure mission is success.
I mean, provide security is I think that would be a good one. All right, cool. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. There's normally like half an hour left, and I don't want to start like the action with only like 20
Yeah,
minutes to half an hour
sense.
left. So that doesn't make any sense.
See you guys in a month.
Shut up.
Jexus will come to your house and punch you.
I will. In the sternum. Hard. Let's see. Is there any? There's no. It's so weird to not have an end of session reward type thing. It's really. It irks me.
If you want to give us XP for the end of the session, then we're not going to stop you.
Next, if we played this game in the sort of very not one shot, but the sort of very episodic one job per session, then you would every time.
Yeah.
But because of the way we pace things,
No, exactly. No, it's true.
we just don't.
So yeah,
had-
I think we have some sort of like end of episode overview thing. Maybe we see some flash forwards to the actual mission where we see you guys sitting in the truck, wearing the overalls or wearing whatever, and then we sort of flash to the arcology getting closer and closer and closer, and camera sort of moves into the maybe to like you have the B, the last blue logo is like gigantic logo on top of the arcology, and there's just 2 holes in the B, and the camera sort of moves in towards and fades to black when we get like sort of end scene credits.
Damn it! I had this really great sort of.
Well, go ahead, mate.
Just this,
Enhance.
just this idea, sort of like this vignette of how is that idea of at the end of like a show where you sort of get to see every character doing just one thing, like Silence just going to that truck, going to that meetup, and then just a gun lying on a desk as it's sort of put away, and then she looks down at her leg, sort of grimaces, and then grabs the gun quickly and moves out. So.
Nice. Yeah, cool. And then we fade to black.
Yeah, we fade to black, and then you just hear someone say, "Wait, what? The mission has started now?"
Oh no! Damn it! It went so well. You ruined it. Yeah, cool. We hopefully, yes, do some shout outs. Hopefully meet again in 2 weeks' time. Is everyone good for the quickly check the
12?
13th? 12th?
12.
Yeah, 12th.
Wednesday 12.
12.
Should be, yeah.
12.
That is indeed a date.
Yeah, it should be good.
All right. I'll post it in
2 weeks
Discord,
from
and if everyone can confirm, we'll do the pin message thing. It works. Let's do some shout outs. Take it over, Byronic. It's your channel. I'm
I was
here
just saying, no, you're
facilitating a
doing,
game.
you're doing
All
fine.
right, okay,
I'm tired
Fab,
from a
anything
long
to
week,
say?
so
Some shout outs, Fab. Where can we find you? What have you been doing? Is there anything interesting going on this week or next week? Go ahead.
No.
All right. Thank you.
Not much.
All right. Cool. William, who thought?
No, this was a lot of fun. Forgive me if I'm sitting there analyzing everything to death. That's just kind of what I do, and it's as bad in real life as it is in games. But one thing I do want to say is that I'm hoping actually to get my streams going again, because I stopped for a while because I was ill for a few weeks. I had a cold and then a couple of other things, and it was just not great, and I haven't bothered starting up. The new Dark Souls 3 DLC came out a couple of days ago, which has rekindled my fire, as apt as that is for those games. I'm actually I actually didn't say that on purpose, but now it's great.
We're proud of you.
Yeah.
Well done.
But yeah, so that's twitch.tv/Huthor, and I'm going to continue my sorceress playthrough of Dark Souls 2, moving then on to Dark Souls 3 and doing all the DLC and giving probably one of my favorite, maybe second favorite other than the Witcher game franchises, a proper send-off.
Cool. Thank you. I'm going to skip Byronic for now because you're the channel host. Vaynen, any shout outs?
So this can be things that other people do, right?
Sure, whatever you want to say.
Tomorrow, the 30th, is the launching day of Thimbleweed Park.
Oh yeah.
And that's a really great point-and-click adventure game from Ron Gilbert, the mind behind Maniac Mansion, Zack McCracken, etc. So I backed the Kickstarter, and I would just, anybody who likes point-and-click, take a look at Thimbleweed Park.
Oh, that looks really cool. Yeah, nice. Great, thanks. Alex.
Thanks. I'm Alex, also known as fake_Alex_blue. Follow me on Twitter. I occasionally tweet about art and feelings, and often, increasingly, it seems about role-playing games. So if you like art, feelings, and role-playing games, stalk me on the internet.
Right, nice.
What about artistic RPGs that give you the feels?
The best. That's what I am about.
Speaking of which, no. Yeah, so my name's Jexus, or Alain, or Jexus Alain, or whatever name you might want to paste on my screen. It doesn't really matter. You can find me at Jexus Alain on Twitter. I don't tweet. And when I do, it's probably like replies to other people. I used to stream, but I don't have time. But when I do stream, you can find me at twitch.tv/Jexus1985, where I will hopefully one day continue the increasingly dumb adventures of Aloysius, PhD, in Bloodborne.
Jexus, if I manage to get to the end of Dark Souls 2, 3, and then Bloodborne before you do,
yeah,
I'm going to be somewhat disappointed.
I mean, I live to disappoint people, so that's good.
Then you get to Mark XP.
Yeah, cool. Right, yeah, okay.
All I can say to that is
I don't have anything else going on apart from a very secret thing that we're not going to talk about, and that's it. Kicking it back to Baronic.
Okay, thank you. I'm hold on. I'm just adjusting our little exit message that we're going to have in a moment. Yeah, thank you so much for hosting this. I'm Baronic. Sorry for being very, very passive this session. I've been tired from a lot of work, so I've been trying to pitch in where I can. I'll be back on Saturday and Sunday playing the Dark Souls 3 DLC, or failing to, as Huthor tells me what to do, how to do it, and when to do it, and Fob criticizes me for not doing it correctly. Thank you so much for all of this, and hope to see you either that weekend or in 2 weeks for more Sprawl.
Cool.
I'm just waiting to see what Huthor messes up this time.
what?
I'm going to say bye.
Thank you very
Go
much.
to break the end screen.
Bye.
Goodbye.